Hey guys, how's it going? Firebox here. I want to show you my Goblin Caves money-making guide. This is the route that I have been using to make an absolute ton of gold recently. On average, in normals, I think I make a few hundred gold around just in general sellables. And in High Roller, I tend to make somewhere around 1,000 gold. Keep in mind, this is also based on stuff that I sell to the marketplace. But in general, I think this is by far the absolute best money-making thing that you can do on Goblin Caves. Now, there's a few different things that I want to touch up on. The first thing I want to say is this middle area here. Regardless of where you spawn, you're ultimately wanting to head towards this area specifically. There's a player there, but I'm going to ignore him for now. You're going to want to head down to this bottom area because the first thing you want to grab are the centipedes. These guys here are super good for money making because they have a chance to drop jewelry, which is really, really valuable. If you don't know, rings and amulets, depending on the rolls, are some of the most profitable pieces of gear that you can find in dungeon. And the best part is they only have one singular slot attached as well. So you have more loot in general for loot in your inventory, meaning you can make some really, really sizable money in your games. So if you don't know how to kill these centipedes, they're super easy. All you have to do is rotate to the side of them after they attack, and you'll see they die super, super fast. One of my favorite things to do when doing this loot route is actually playing Barbarian, because Felling Axe is really good at killing centipedes quick. When you are looting, you're also going to want to go for these locked chests, lion's heads, golden chests, and these small little bronze chests are great as well. I got lucky finding a lockpick there, but feel free to bring them for yourself, for the purposes of the run. So once we finish looting this down area here, unless we have to fight this guy that's above us that is definitely considering coming down onto my head, we're going to go ahead and finish killing the mobs down here. Alright, so same old, same old. We're going to go ahead and clear this centipede. And ultimately, our goal in this run is going to be to hit a few key focus points. Centipedes, lion's heads, golden chests, the small bronze chest, wooden crates. These are heavily found in the prison area that we are planning to go to throughout this run. You can also consider looting mummies, skull bats, and regular bats as well. Every single one of those items is great for gold. I am going to personally recommend that when you're playing in these dungeons, you're going for speed. You know, you're trying to get as much money as possible in a short amount of time. To try your best to avoid looting chests. I know that might sound counterintuitive, but Firebox, why am I not looting chests? Isn't that where the loot is? Well, yeah. I would only recommend looting chests in the early game when you kind of just need gold. Like, you just need anything you can get. Once you're at the point where you're wanting to start farming gold effectively, doing a specific gold route is just so much more profitable than slowly looting through the dungeon could ever be. So as you've seen, we already have killed 2 centipedes this run, which is absolutely fantastic. We're going to go ahead and kill this 3rd centipede, and then we're going to head up through this ramp, and we're going to clear a 4th centipede as well, and then head into the prison, and we're going to start clearing out those wooden crates. The nice part about wooden crates is they have a very high chance for sellable jewelry, which not only is that just generally good for making money, because you don't have to worry about the marketplace, but if you're a free-to-play player as well, you can make really good money from this route too, meaning that you can go to the marketplace and buy gear for yourself, because you can use this to find different types of jewelry to sell to the merchant, and then, of course, make money from there. So, great. We've killed our 3rd centipede. Fantastic. We're going to go ahead and head up through this area. And we're going to head up to the 4th centipede area. If you look at the map down at the bottom right corner, you'll see we have 10 minutes left of our total timer. So we're moving very, very fast. Remember, the quicker you move through this dungeon, the more gold you're going to make. Ultimately, my goal when I'm doing these runs is to get in and get out as fast as possible. I also do not loot mobs for the most part. So the reason I don't loot mobs is it's very small gold, like 4 gold from that goblin. You can spend the time to loot mobs if you want. That is perfectly fine. But I have found that my pockets typically get full, especially in high roller games, from all the sellables that I get between the centipedes and all the the mobs such as these. The skull bats, the mummies, the regular bats, and just all of the stuff you can find in general. So I usually avoid looting mobs to just save myself a little bit of time. Keep in mind, every time you kill a mob, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can even loot the mob. And from what I've seen, most mobs have very, very junk quality loot. You're talking white gear, maybe some green gear every once in a while. And it does sometimes have ears for sellables or a little bit of gold. But I'm telling you, it's pocket change compared to the gear that you can get from centipedes and compared to the sellables and gold that you will be making from the other sources. Oh, now we are going to have to fight this guy, apparently. He does not look very nice, so hopefully he doesn't mess up my run. So, apologies, fellas, but we are gonna have to fight this guy. Which is fine. We're just gonna W key him and he will die eventually. Yes, okay. Alright. So, PvP for the video is done. You know what's really nice about the felling axe, guys? You know what's really great about the felling? You can pretty much DPS check any class in the game. Just don't miss your axe. So there you go. PvP is done. Fantastic. Now we're going to go ahead and loot this chest here. If you don't know, this is a guaranteed unlock lion's head. Always great to loot. And lion's heads are a very good source of gear. So you'll see, even though we're in normals, we got a blue sellable treasure. For normals, this is really good. So, yeah, make sure you take advantage of that chest. And if you do happen to come across PvP, make sure you practice. I know if you're brand new, you might be still struggling with that, and that's, of course, perfectly fine. Everyone is going to be at their own pace as far as learning the game. But just know, once you start getting normals PvP down, you will be able to do this loot route pretty risk-free. You shouldn't have too much issue PvE-wise with the mobs. As you've already seen, the centipedes are pretty easy. The mobs are pretty easy too once you get the hang of them, so you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. Now, we've looted the centipede, we've looted the lion's head. We're going to go ahead and clear out the prison area as well. So all of these wooden crates have a chance to spawn pretty decent jewelry. You can also, if you get lucky, get really good gear as well. It's not guaranteed. Most of this run, and really just all the loot in this game, right, is completely RNG based. We have absolutely no idea what we're going to get from any of this. But overall, it is more profitable from what I have personally experienced to do this loot run than it is to just sit and slowly loot, the little chests and things of that nature. Now, I'm sure you've already noticed that I'm a barb, but I'm not crushing things because my current build that I like to do does not involve crush. I prefer having more PvP perks to make myself a little bit better in those encounters. So, for example, that barbarian we just fought, I have Berserker and Axe Specialization with Robust Iron Will. These four are really good PvP perks. So, because of that, I do not have room for Crush. But I think it's okay. All Crush does is save you a very, very small amount of time, between crate busting and, busting down doors and things of that nature. Don't get me wrong, you can use Crush to loot, and if you do, you can also grab chests along the way. But I'm assuming you might want to play other classes besides just Barb. So I didn't want to use Barb Crush for this example, because then people might say, well, wait a minute, I don't have Crush, is it still going to work? And yes, you do not need Crush to make this loot route work. Okay, so something else I should mention now. Death Beetles are really good for gear as well, so you'll see. I was able to get a sellable jewelry. These almost always have sellables in them, which is fantastic. Jewelry just gives you so much money in this game. Now, this lion's head is not guaranteed unlocked, but that's okay. You should always bring lockpicks with you when you do this route. I accidentally forgot them when I started the video, but I did find them from the centipede. So, kind of saved. Very, very lucky for me. Now, we did get more blue sellables, which is absolutely fantastic. We found a Horseman's Axe, which is great too, because of my axe perks. Also going to grab this spellbook that has 6 health. Even green spellbooks generally sell, but 6 max HP is a high roll 1 spellbook. That probably will sell for, I would guess, maybe 100 gold. Somewhere in that area. Now, we're going to go ahead and keep looting these crates. And then we're going to head down underneath of this little bridge area. We're going to clear this mob, and we're going to head down into this little I don't even know what to call it. We're gonna head down this little tunnel here. We're gonna clear the mobs that are in the back here too. There's another lion's head that can spawn back here as well. It's guaranteed, but it can also spawn a golden chest. Somebody's beat me to it, but just know there's a few mobs that spawn here and a golden chest that you can open as well with your lockpick. Now at this point, you're gonna want to head up this ramp. Hopefully it's not taken. If it is, I'll show you a backup spawn. But in general, I have found that no one really takes it. We're going to head back this way. I'm going to head underneath of this little bridge area here. There is a rope exit that I find is almost never taken. There is a chance that someone took it this time, but lucky for me, it's not. I don't know what it is about this area right here, but no one ever takes it. So what's great is not only can you get a free exit here, but you can also finish out strong. Oops, I didn't mean to drop that. You can also finish out strong by looting all of these wooden crates before you leave and making sure you're completely full on inventory. So you're going to see very quickly, my inventory is almost full of pretty decent gear. And this is just a normal run. If I'm in high roller, I'm going to make even more gold. And let me tell you, the profit really does start to pile up. So just something to keep in mind when you're doing your games. I am going to go ahead and drop that axe. We'll start grabbing white sellables. In general, you want to prioritize green sellables first. If you don't know, the rarities of sellables are gray, white, green, blue, purple, gold. So with that said, I think we had a pretty good run. I'm going to go ahead and show you the loot value that we got from this normals run. And then, we'll kind of talk about a little bit of ending notes from there, okay? Now, great. We have completed our first normals run. Let's go ahead and sell and see how much money we made from that one run. So we made 280 gold. That's not bad. We made 280 gold just from sellables. We got this badger pendant with 5 health. I'm going to say this isn't going to sell. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this too. So that makes us total 287, which is good. And don't forget, we got this spell book as well. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this. Now remember what I said. This should sell. Max HP is a pretty good stat. 70 gold. Not quite as much as I thought, but it's still going to be a little bit of extra profit, which is always nice. So in total, between the book and the sellables, we made about 350 gold. I don't know what kind of runs that you have personally done, but for me, I think 350 gold for one normals is a pretty damn good run. And of course, that doesn't mention the gear that I could have grabbed during the run to put on my character. I was really just focusing on my inventory this game. But just keep in mind, we did get kind of bad RNG too. We could always get better loot from centipedes, such as blue rings, purple rings, or anything of that nature. Now, once you get to the point where you're feeling more confident in your runs, I want you to give High Roller a try. I really wanted to do High Roller this game, but I tried it, and I ended up getting just way too much PvP. There was no way I could do one solid playthrough by doing High Rollers, unfortunately. So forgive me for that, but I do hope that this video helps you learn the loot routes and hopefully make some really much needed gold that you can use to upgrade your kits. Now, I hope you enjoyed this loot guide. If you did, be sure to like the video. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for future content and comment below what your thoughts are. And if you think there's anything that I missed or anything that could be improved here. I do also want to thank Trash Daddy and Justin Doob for supporting this video alongside all my other members. Thank you all. Have a great day.